Hello there, everybody. Welcome into week number 6. It's going to be Iowa State taking on Columbia College. I'm Kingfisher, joined here by Gedster. Should be an incredible game by two of the best teams in this league. I, for one, am incredibly excited to see how it goes. Gedster, though, how excited are you to see this game?
I'm very keen to get into this one, Fisher. Obviously, I mean, last time you and I casted together, it was ages ago. The long lost time of like 5 days ago or something like that, and we got to cast one of the best series I think any you could possibly get to cast in collegiate Rainbow Six. So I'm hoping to see this live up to that because I mean, my standards are high now. My standards are stratospherically high.
Yeah, I don't know if anything can live up to the game we got to cast over for the Battle for PA, but hopefully this one can come close. As we already said, two of the best teams in this league. Really excited to see him go at it. And speaking of going at it, I think Iowa State is going to be up first. We should get a look inside those rosters momentarily here, see which 5 players are going to be taking the battlefield. It's going to be Ben, Reckon, Reply Asian, and Tater Tot. Definitely a little bit of a lower average rank than I'd expect for a team of this caliber. But as we say so many times, stats are not everything.
Definitely not. I mean, you were pointing out the fact that these are two of the best teams in the league. And I mean, you look at the record, it's currently 3-2. These guys, they're just right now they're just barely hovering above 500, but they are I mean, they're scary good regardless of that. You can't ever count these guys out in the slightest. So, got to be entirely sure that you are ready to go up against them, but their opponents on the other side of the stage, it's going to be a CC, Columbia College, and I'm very excited to see how they end up playing out today. We got Nubs, Landis, Soul, Roth, and Crip also currently 3-2, but with a player average rank of 97. This is going to be a team to watch out for.
Yeah, it really is. Of course, coming in with a little bit of a higher player ranking, but as you pointed out, both 3-2, which means even if you don't know who the players are, who the teams are, you know that this is going to be a competitive set. Both rosters facing a little struggles this season, obviously, with the 2 losses, but still very, very good, very complete as far as that goes. Yeah,
Mm.
very, very interested to see how this one rolls. I haven't gotten to watch either of these teams play a whole bunch this season, so of course, just going off of recent memory when we're talking about them. But we'll see if they can live up to the standards. No, we might have quotes from the rosters up next, or if we throw it to map bands, just have to wait and see. And we do
We
have the
got
quotes.
quotes.
Don't mess with Roth to go. Gotta love it. Anytime you see a team confidence or have confidence like this, really kind of makes you believe a lot more in them as an outside spectator.
For sure. I mean, if they're putting out one
That's a
player in
banger.
particular, that always has to be like the player that you kind of keep your eye on, right? Like that's gonna be fun. But in the meantime, ISU, Iowa State rules, Columbia rules, a classic, a tried and true. Honestly, I've been hearing that one since elementary school. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just one of the most brutal, brutal, devastating one-liners you can ever drop on somebody. We rule, you
Mm.
drool. So, love to see it from Ben. Now, I think with quotes out of the way, getting to see these team thoughts going into the map. Speaking of, we do have the map bans up. It is a best of 3. Quick reminder to everyone at home. So, we're going to go to Clubhouse, then Border, and of course, Bank is going to be the decider if necessary. Some of the most cinematic games in R6 history always seem to happen on Bank. So a very,
Yup.
very good map pool we have in front of us today.
Yeah, I mean these are three classics. Really, is what we're looking at right now. I mean, old maps. We don't want to see any of that new blood stuff. No Night Haven, no Lair, nothing like that. Nada, absolutely not. We're going back to the beginning, back to the very start of Rainbow Six, where Clubhouse and Bank were there from the beginning. I think Border was a little bit later though. No.
Yeah, got introduced in year 1, season 2. So I mean, as far as the
Mm.
map pool goes, still pretty OG,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it was what, like 6 months after the game came out. That's basically OG. I'm gonna count it as such,
It
certainly.
counts.
And the statistics for the maps should also be coming up soon, so we can see just how the maps are faring, how these teams are doing. And yeah, looking at the winning percentage across the board, so Border is going to be the interesting one to watch. Of course, Columbia College has never played it. It was their map pick. But if you look at Iowa State's, they only won one of their 8 rounds on the map. It's definitely not the best stat. Of course, obviously, one of their losses went up on that one.
Yeah, should be an interesting map though. I mean, the win percentage on Clubhouse in particular is like what I am mostly looking at here, because this isn't the best map for either of these teams, but I mean, Clubhouse is always a barn burner. Every time someone goes there, it's just a very interesting series. So I am excited to see where this one goes in particular. And I mean, I think that the one that I really want to see, maybe it's just because I really, really, really like map threes, but maybe it's also because I really like Bank. I think this map is so cool, especially like when both teams are extremely practiced on it. I think that the particular sites that you opt to select and go to are extremely interesting, whether that be the top floor, the bottom floor, one of the middle floors. It's fascinating stuff. And I mean, it does seem like we're almost able to get into the game here. So I think we're just waiting on the players to be ready up, and then we're going to be headed into this one, Fisher. Any early predictions here? Any bold early predictions?
No. I mean, especially just looking at the stats, right? When you look at that first game on the board, it was a 5-7 loss for ISU when they played the map, 7-5 win for Columbia College. So everything we've been saying throughout the pregame, kind of our predictions, our thoughts on how this is going to go, everything says we are going to be in for a long day and a well-fought day. And with all that being said, game number 1 is on the horizon. Iowa State, Columbia College. Clubhouse starts right now.
It's gonna be a good one, I think. I'm very excited for this match. First set of bands about to roll through, and it will end up being the Thermite and the Kaid. Okay. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I think the Thermite is an interesting band. Definitely not uncommon, but I don't usually think it's the best first band, if that makes sense. Let's see what they want to follow it up with, though. Azami Ace. Okay, so I mean, Columbia College just do not want to have to deal with hard breach here. Obviously, Habana Maverick still on the board, but it's a lot more difficult to open those walls up without those two operators.
Yeah, and those are the two hard breaches that really kind of cover a lot of area, right? Obviously, the exothermic from Thermite, very easy to walk through. Same with those Selma charges from Ace. Whenever you're Habana, gotta spread them out a little bit. And of course, secondary hard breaches, right? Great gadget, really offer a lot of versatility. Not the biggest holes in the world. You gotta vault through them most times. It kind of makes it very tricky on the attack. That being said, I am really surprised we saw the Thermite ban instead of the Maverick ban. Now, Maverick is a pretty niche operator, right? There are some sites he's good, some sites he is just absolutely horrendous. I found kind of depends a lot on the player too, but he is good on Clubhouse, and that's one of the hard breachers they leave open. If you go to either of those top floor sites, Maverick is honestly one of the most important operators for that attack.
For certain, especially since they've left the Bandit on the board. I mean, it becomes very easy when you have a Maverick to just burn out the bottom of the wall and get rid of the batteries. At that point, you can't keep them electrified for long at all without just getting shot in your feet and dying immediately. So, Maverick being left on the board, I do expect that we will end up seeing that operator in future rounds here, but not going to opt for it this time. Instead, the hard breach will fall squarely on the shoulders of Hibana and perhaps a couple of hard breach charges, maybe from the Grim. But
oh no!
I mean, when it's oh boy,
it was a bait.
Oh my goodness, that was way too close, and I really like that idea from Roth, but I mean, does end up getting punished, and that's going to be real tough.
Yeah, that is just the most unfortunate timing in the world. I mean, great play from Roth, right? Can see there's no Claymore, can see the player on the drone. Didn't see the drone on the scanner either, so I don't think that's something where he was like watching Roth walk into the window and knew he was going to be there. At just timing, and this mirror needs to be careful. Still has a C4 in pocket, but now is going to use it, and Soul gets a double kill. Mira trading shots with the Blackbeard, and she'll get him. There goes Nubs with the kill onto Reckon, and just like that, Columbia College up 2 men, 4-2 advantage.
I mean, that's just a gorgeous series of kills there for the side of Columbia College. They lose out on the Solus early, but it does not end up mattering at all. A couple kills come through from the Mute and another from Nubs on the Mira. And now it's a 2 versus 4. And I mean, the bright side of this is at very least you still have the Hibana alive. And the Hibana is going to be important on this particular site because of the prevalence of hatches. And you can get a lot of hatches open with Hibana on your team. But, I mean, the problem still becomes approaching these, right? You've got to be able to find your way down. You've got to be able to get past these Goyo canisters. You've got to be... I mean, there's a whole lot of problems for you to have to deal with right now. 42 seconds left and the execute is starting, but eventually C264 out of the equation, and Nubs will get the 3rd kill of the round. The Miro with the 3K. Beautiful stuff, and CC is going to take their first round win.
It's a great round there from Columbia College, and we say it so often about Mira, right? It's not just the ability that makes her good, it's the kid. The C4, the Vector, just an absolute killing machine. That's an operator I'm kind of surprised wasn't banned off the defense. They went for a zombie instead. You got to be thinking they'll come round 3. ISU is going to be getting rid of that one. Don't want to replay against it. And it was really that double C4 kill from Columbia College, from Seoul, that really kind of cracked that round open. ISU didn't have much options. I mean, dropping into Moto was about their best play, and that's a really bad play. So when that's kind of your best option, you know things have gone a little bit haywire. Luckily for them, though, basement extremely defender-sided. You know, you're not expecting to win basement all the time when you're attacking, so isn't going to slow them down too much. And now with this bedroom gym take, should be a more standard one for ISU. They're not going to use Maverick yet, though. Still a little surprising to me they're just going to opt for the Hibana, but we'll see if it works out because, of course, there is no Kaid and no Banda either, so the walls will be pretty easy to open for this attack.
Yeah, just going to be a Mute to attempt to keep walls closed here, but one of those operators that can be easily circumvented just by opening a different part of the wall. Bringing along Hibana allows you to do that. And that is the option that Ben ends up going for anyway. So, very curious to see the approach here for ISU. But I mean, to start things off, it's just going to be fairly standard stuff. Hard breach charge to open that. That is a very brave spot to simply run in front of the hole in the wall there. But Roth is not punished for it. Now just peeking in through this one is Tater Tot. I mean, this is potentially a very scary angle, but I think that enough of CC is playing far enough back that they won't end up falling to this.
Yeah, Nubs is playing very aggressively here at the window and takes a bullet to the knee from the Buck. Roth going to be the first death again, as Reckon will be the one to find it, this time on the Ash. And yeah, playing with fire there, that Mira on that CC window, or wall, rather.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good spot. It's just very, very scary. Not an easy one to play from. Not a whole lot of cover when you find yourself in that specific area. But eventually, the one player does fall. Nubs is out and alive for now. It's just a matter for ISU of getting in and taking advantage of these picks. And I mean, there's a couple of operator picks here that I really like in particular for the side of ISU, especially that Deimos. But a couple shots to the feet from the Hibana are going to take Nubs very low. Not quite able to get that kill, but very close. Finally, pushing up a little bit more into construction is ISU. This Grim going to be sending a couple of Bs in just to try and find a little more information. Nice shot onto Landis. And I mean, the knock onto Reckon may not even end up mattering all that much. I'm not sure that the Ash is in a safe spot to be picked up, but I'll eat my words immediately. It does happen. Tater Tot finding another one in this round. 2 kills for the Grim, but oh my goodness, clapping back. SMG in hand, Crip feeling phenomenal right now. Soul finding another as well, and they have the location of the last couple players. 1 versus 2, and they can't convert. Columbia College with another one round, but that one felt a lot closer.
Crip and Soul, the 2v5 on defense. What a play from the Columbia College defenders there, and exactly why this site is so dangerous, right? It's so difficult for the attackers to push into that bomb site. There are not a lot of angles. Almost every single one, other than the windows, really work to the advantage of the defenders. Without any pressure on the stairs, there's nothing to do. All Columbia College have to do is sit and wait for them to push your workshop. There's no crossfires, nobody on the roof hatch, nothing to shut down Columbia College. I mean, great play from the defense, right? They played that extraordinarily, but you gotta imagine maybe drop the ball a little bit on the attack. All they needed to do was swing another person around the outside to another angle, but I mean, 4 of the 5 went from the same direction, and the one flanker they had got cut down at the hard breach very, very quickly from I believe it was Soul on the mute last round. Might have been Crypto. I could be eating my words. But regardless, Columbia College now moving on to CCTV Cash with the 2-0 lead. This is exactly the spot you want to be in as a defense on Clubhouse.
A mirror window on the main wall in an attempt to mirror a trick rather than the usual bandit strategy. I do like this, especially when they're bringing along a Maverick here. But I mean, I think the one of the other big issues for the side of CC this round is going to be the fact that ISU has brought along not one but 2 shields. One in the form of the Monty and another in the form of the Osa. I believe Rainbow Six's, I'd say newest shield operator, but I genuinely do not recall if Blackbeard got the rework or if Osa came out first. It's been way too long, and I just cannot remember.
Osa came out first.
Osa came out first. Okay.
I got you.
Okay. If nobody got me, I know Kingfisher got me.
Dude, that's what I've been saying. Honestly, I think you should probably change your Twitter bio to that. But 2 minutes to go.
Probably.
In round number 3, and the first kill will come through. Surprise,
No
it's going to be
way.
Columbia College. Yet again, Landis taking him down before being traded out by Reckon, who's been on these trades all game long. And Roth is in a rough spot. Tater Tot will go down to Nubs. In the meantime, this Monty is pushing in. There is nobody with the Monty. The defense doesn't know this. All they have to do is kind of run at him. Reckon is now getting close to this doorway, but SC4 might just do it, and it will. And Nubs is going to get a third, because why the heck not?
I mean, what a way to play around that Monty, just pushing forward very aggressively onto the Wamai. Aggressively. A good shot from Reply, but I mean, it's going to take a lot more than that. A minute 15 remaining in a 1 versus 3. Everybody's got full health. So, I mean, I've seen crazier 1v3s in my life, but very rarely. It's not going to be an easy route to get this win. Especially with the diffuser currently sitting in the rafters and a player directly on top of it. But it doesn't even look like they're going to be going for this one immediately. It kind of just seems like this is one of those roof timeouts. You know what I'm talking about?
You know, I think that is exactly what it is, and I like the call from ISU, right? You've now dropped 3 straight rounds. It's still a 1v3, but I think it's safe to assume at this point where we're at that they're going to drop this round as well. Might as well take a minute, regroup, talk things over. You know that Columbia College is going back to the basement next round, and granted, we really didn't get to see the attack from ISU against the basement, right? It was derailed almost immediately by that really, really big C4 play. So they could still have a good strat. Zofia will die, gets cut down immediately upon entering the objective. Another one on the board from Soul, and right now it seems like Columbia College can do no wrong.
Yeah, they're playing very well at the moment. It is kind of just clinical defense here on Clubhouse so far. But on the bright side, at this point, you know where CC is going to defend, right? Because nobody plays first floor. Nobody goes there. So you know it's very likely going to be that basement, as you were saying earlier. And now it's just a matter of locking in and attacking on this next round here.
And interestingly, it looks like it's going to be Columbia College kind of switching up some of their strats. Not going to go with the mirror this time. Instead, they're going to bring a clash. I think it was Nubs round number 1 who was piloting that mirror. Yeah, it was. Memory serving correctly. Still have to go out, still have to mute, of course, the normal other operators. No Solus on the board either. Roth is going to be pivoting over to this Valkyrie, so maybe looking for a couple more C4 spots. Of course, the Black Eye cameras are going to help a lot with that one. And I'm interested to see, right, if ISU is going to drone out and detect this, or if they're just going to come into this thinking it's going to be the exact same strat as the first time we saw this site played. Definitely not the case. And of course, if you remember all the way back to round one, there was really no roamer from Columbia College. Roth was the only one and got killed on the jump out. Everybody else just played from the basement, but fragged out of their minds.
Looking somewhat similar is the attack this time around from ISU as it did in round one. Hopefully, this time they are able to convert off of a potential early pick here, which, I mean, it's as you were saying. Last time around, Roth was playing that Solus, gets picked off early despite a very quick, aggressive play that not a lot of people would be able to, punish and catch off guard. But, I mean, that is how that one played out, and hopefully we're going to be seeing Roth play a little bit more carefully here. Not that it mattered last time, because I mean, like you said, that C4 play still won them the round almost instantly in round number one, but CC now looking to do something similar again, and ISU looking to change their fortunes a little bit here, because so far this clubhouse has looked a little bit rough for them. They have a couple of really nice picks here and there, but haven't been able to convert any of them into a round win.
Yeah, they did get close in round number two, so we'll see if we can see that same magic recaptured here in round four. They're doing a good job of getting these hatches open early. Of course, as we remarked earlier, no roam game from Columbia College. They are all sitting in the basement. So theoretically, ISU have a ton of time to work with, a minute and a half to play, and they have already cleared out the entire map. They know everybody else is just going to be sitting in sight. And the two things that are going to give them trouble, right? The Vulcan canisters, none have been popped yet. And this clash, if they don't find a way to deal with it, could be the thorn in their side. Hoping, for SU's sake, that Nomad still has an air jab or two in the pocket. Because outside of that, maybe you land a Twitch, or an Ash bazooka on it, rather. That's about all you got to force this clash out of position. This is a dirty setup from the Clash, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's gross. It's gross is what it is. Clash has always been one of those operators that is so difficult to play against, play like just even to aggress into at all. But I mean, you're kind of forced to here if you're ISU. It's still a 5 versus 5, 40 seconds remaining in the round, and I mean, even if that clash wasn't a problem, there's still 4 other players on the team that you need to get past, and so far, not able to find any of them, but that's a good opening pick for Reckon. That's exactly the kind of thing they needed. The diffuser is currently going down. I'm wondering if there's even going to be a punish on this, or if the plant will just go down. It will eventually. Now, 3 versus 3. Both players, both teams missing 2 players, but eventually picks will continue to come through. 1 versus 1, Reply and Landis now remaining all on their lonesome. An unfortunate disconnect in the middle of the round. We'll have to get that player back in ASAP, so there might be a pause, but until then, this one player is hiding outside. There's no way that you're going to be able to get back and defuse this one. Surely not.
No.
No, there's not time for this one. And that's going to be ISU's first round win. But, I mean, CC made it close.
You quite literally cannot get any closer to winning that round if you're Columbia College by, 0.2 seconds? Maybe difference between the game clock and the diffuser. So close from Columbia College, and of course, the disconnect not helping any matters. But ISU, wow, they get their first on the board. It may not be the prettiest round win in the world, but it is a round win all the same. So you got to hope, right? If you're an ISU fan, that's going to help kind of shift up the momentum, throw a little bit of caution to the winds for Columbia College. We'll see if they can start stringing anything together off the back of this. Of course, they did almost win that gym bedroom site. So theoretically, could see another round go ISU's way before the swap. That being said, even in that round, even when they lose, Columbia College just look dominant still.
Yeah, I mean, Columbia College have been playing really, really good rainbow so far. Like, I think that's undeniable. Their defense has looked extremely solid, and I think that, I mean, it's not entirely surprising here, really. I think that the picks that they've gone with in previous rounds have made a lot of sense. I mean, the Mira in particular in CC Cash was a phenomenal play that ended up working perfectly in their favor, and that's why we see ISU ban it, as you predicted earlier in the third ban phase. So, not not shocking stuff to see because, I mean, as you said earlier, both of these teams are very good. It's just a matter of keeping it competitive for the entire way through.
Yeah, it has been competitive, right? Even in kind of some of the more stompy rounds, quote unquote. It's still not ISU playing bad by any standards, right? It's Columbia College doing it very, very strongly. Of course, now, as we mentioned previously, Jim Bedroom is going to be the repeat site here from CC. ISU should know how to attack it. They were winning their attack extremely handily last time, back in round number 2, until CC just kind of decided, hey, we want this round. We're not going to give it to you. And they're breaking out the Clash again. Kind of waited until after that third ban phase to bring this pick out. Gotta wonder if this is a pocket pick or if this is literally just because Mira got banned. It's not exactly a Mira replacement, but it's kind of close. I mean, you can play it like you play a Mira.
You can, I suppose. I also do think the Clash is one of those operators that is an extremely fascinating one, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Bin goes down. That is a very early engagement here in the round. No more Buck to work with, and I mean, Buck is one of those operators that makes the life of a Clash so much more difficult just by taking out the floor underneath her. Not going to be an option anymore for the side of ISU. No shotguns to speak of, unless there's a secondary shotgun somewhere in those loadouts. But, I mean, like I said, that Buck being gone just means that there's so much less pressure on the Clash, and that could end up being deadly for the side of ISU, especially as they begin to aggress here.
About to walk in right into the Clash. Nubs, who's playing a very dangerous angle if anybody goes around to the windows, could easily cut off his rotation back to site, and now Reckon, very aware that this Warden is playing inside a Logi.
Wow.
Can't get the angle on the Clash, and this is such a brutal crossfire, and they are doing it very, very correctly. I could throw some caution to the window as the smoke grenade goes out. They have 2 logistics to protect this Clash, and he still can't find the Warden, who's now backed all the way up into secret, and Nubs is still holding strong inside the site.
The smoke grenade to cut Nubs off was just enough to get them back onto the site. And the Grim Bees locked down the location, but I think that the shield is still up, and eventually Nubs does go down, but not before finding Reckon. That's exactly what you need in this situation here, but it's a 1 versus 3. Crip, shotgun in hand, manages to find one of the last remaining needed picks, and now it's just this gridlock. Manages to find Roth with a beautiful shot, not even sure you'd finish ADSing, but not going to be enough. Landis gets the punish on the attempted defuse. It's going to be an official round lead at the end of this half for Columbia College.
It's another round where ISU are looking good. They're gaining some ground, getting a couple kills, just not quite either enough time or enough advantage to gain through the first couple minutes of that round, depending on how you look at it. But regardless, result is the same. 4-1 lead for Columbia College. They are going to reattempt this basement bomb site, just going to swap that Clash out for smoke. So trying to delay more time, cover some plans, cover the post plant maybe. That was kind of their Achilles heel last time around, allowing ISU to get that diffuser on the ground. Going to be much harder to do this time with both the Vulcan canisters and those smoke grenades. That being said, ISU still have, I think, a pretty decent chance to climb this one back into a 2-4. If you go down 5-1 on Clubhouse, it's certainly not impossible to come back from that, but you definitely want to pick up at least 2 attacking rounds, maybe even 3, kind of depending on what kind of team you are on Clubhouse, because there are some teams that are very, very skilled at attacking this map. Inclined to think, with how well they've been playing defensively, that Columbia College are going to do a pretty good job once they get to attack.
Yeah. It's distinctly possible For sure. I would love to see them come out swinging on the attack as well, but I mean, at the same time, I would also really love to see ISU make this a more competitive series. And I don't want that to sound like, oh, ISU's not playing well. They need to step it up. Because, I mean, in some of these rounds, they have genuinely looked quite good. It's just, right now, I think they're being pretty firmly outclassed. I think CC is just winning more gunfights, especially Crip and Soul. Landis also with 5 and Nubs with 7. Roth, funnily enough, the only player on this team without a kill so far. It's been a little bit rough so far for the MVP of the team, according to the pre-match quote. But honestly, if anybody can turn it around, it's Roth. It's Roth. That's the GOAT.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to do so. That's funny. Before you pointed out the 0-6 stat line, I didn't even know the Roth was killless. I was under the impression he's been doing good and will not get the refrag. Reckon with the heads-up double play. How about that from the IQ Nubs? Went screaming up the stairs. But now, no more smoke grenades, no C4 from the Valkyrie either. So you got Vulcan canisters and the C4 of Soul. 5v2 now. ISU showing why they are still in this game. And with a minute and a half to play, plenty of time here from the attack. All you gotta do is not mess up, and that's gonna be 1. So close to 2. That would have been round changing for CC, but only Ben will fall.
And I mean, Ben just had to be in the radius of the blast damage because the Buck was on such low HP, as is Reckon for the record. I mean, if there's a way back into this, it's off of the damage that's already been done. Because, I mean, you don't even need to hit a headshot on the Reckon right now. Just tickle him in the toe, and he's dead. Eventually, dropping down onto the point. Diffuser will start to go down. And eventually, bullets will find their way into Soul. A nice shot from Crip, but still has to get through 3 more players. Finds another one here. Wait a minute. No, not able to get any more done. It's a 4-2 half. ISU able to recover just a little bit here at the end of the half.
And honestly, I don't think for either team you can ask for much of a better half, right? That feels kind of exactly how the scoreline should have gone, 4-2. That feels about right for the momentum swings. The rounds we were seeing were some pure dominance from Columbia College, some that were close, and then a couple, just like the last one, the ISU not really ran away with, but looked in control of. Definitely like to see that heading into the defensive half if you're an ISU fan. And Maverick, Mira, both taken off the board. Of course, no real surprises there. And the next one's to follow up Cade and Monty. A little surprising from ISU banning out the Monty. I guess it's certainly not a bad ban, right? Monty taking Garage especially is an extremely powerful operator, very hard to deal with, but doesn't see a whole ton of utility on this map, really outside of taking the Garage.
Basement will be the first site here in this half. ISU opting to go downwards rather than upwards. I do agree with this. I mean, I think basement is probably, I would say it's the best site on this map personally. I think there are some who might disagree with me and say gym bedroom, but I don't think there's a, maybe there is an argument to be had, actually. Maybe I'm just going crazy.
I was about to say I'm a gym bedroom believer. I would start arguing right now. But we got
okay.
Time.
Fair.
I mean, yeah, it's funny, right? There's really only one bad site on this map, of course, being first floor. Really, you can have an argument for any of the other 3 on why they are pretty good. Honestly, could be first pick, even kind of that tertiary site, right? CCTV Cache sees a lot of play, used to be the absolute favorite for a lot of people, myself included, when Siege was older. But it is going to be the basement site first, and they're not going to run a Monty. They do have a Blitz, so maybe it was kind of a target ban. Like I said, haven't seen CC play attack a whole ton this season. What a turnaround from Reckon. Are you kidding me? Great kill, and the follow-up as well.
Oh my
goes
God.
down, but it's a 3 opening for ISU. Did CC not drone that?
Evidently not. Evidently not. They were running onto the site here, and the striker is the last one left. Currently on 0 kills, but I don't think they're even going to try for another one here. Maybe they are, actually. I fully expected a roof timeout, but not worth it in the first round of the half. They are deeming. Proximity alarm will ring, and they know exactly where this striker is. 144 left. There is plenty of time to potentially give this a proper shot, but I mean, it's not an easy road.
No, it's not. It's looking more like an impossible road, but anything is possible. You know, you can put it on a motivational poster. Moving in here, nobody
Indeed.
gonna be in strip. There are a couple waiting in bar, so gonna have a lot to get
Oh,
through here for Roth. And they have the diffuser too. I mean, they're just waiting for him to walk into the bathroom. They are gonna gun him down.
I
No,
mean,
they're
it's
not. Never mind.
Kibas. It's Kibas. It's castles. There's so much happening here. Just everything is in your way, and eventually when you do return to the angle, you never got rid of the proximity detector, so they know exactly where you are. They know that you're punching out this barbed wire, and you do slip past, but I mean, you've walked into another 44 seconds, 41, 39, I should say. But eventually the pressure gets to Roth and will not be able to pick any of these up. And Fisher, why don't you take it away till next round starts so I can maybe remember how the English language works?
I will work on sending you over a dictionary as we
Appreciate
are
it.
talking. Yeah, no
Appreciate it.
worries. Big round from ISU. Of course, they did have their attacking round to close out the last half, but a big defense as well, just really kind of catapulting this squad up. And right when it seemed, right, at the beginning of this game, CC was just on a roll. They might run away with it. The predictions come true from pregame, right? We thought it was going to be a competitive set, and we are certainly seeing more shades of that now. Gym Bedroom going to be the next site. No Mira available, obviously. CC banned it out. ISU didn't do that until the third ban. They're attacking half, so be interested to see what they do for defense first. I love the Malusi pick. Malusi feels like an operator that does not get enough love. Such a good ability. It can be pretty easily countered by droning. Of course, it's easy to shoot, but pretty good time wasting. Outside of that, though, they really only have the Goyo's Vulcan to lock down time, and that can be such a good ability, right? This is one bomb site I feel like above many others that executes happen in the last 10 seconds. That's just how it goes for this site. It takes so long to wrestle away control of the construction, logistics, even getting good peeks onto the windows takes a lot of time and a lot of drone work. So those Vulcan canisters can be the difference between wins and losses here. We'll see if Reply is able to use them to good effect. As round number 8 starts, ISU looking for their chance to tie up this score.
I'm back. I can talk again. Let's go. We're locked in.
Congrats.
Woo! I like the attacking composition here. We've talked a little bit in previous. What? There's no way that frag kills the mute. There's just no way. All right, Roth has now found another kill here. His first of the game onto Bin, and that is an early man advantage for CC. Oh, it gets worse. Make it 2 for Roth. Make it 3. And that's exactly what we were hoping for out of the star player from Columbia College. Reckon finds one, but will not be able to find it. Well, does find a second, but goes down instantly. I was literally about to give some analysis as to why I was a huge fan of this composition that CC was taking. And then the guns did all the talking. No need for utility. Just shoot him. Just shoot him.
Well, that was a round, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to be evened up at 4-4. Spoiler alert, if anyone was blinking during that one, you might have missed it. CC come thundering through that attack, and ISU going to retry the same site now. I definitely don't hate it, right? You know, you can go to CCTV cache, but be very hard-pressed to imagine the same sort of push works twice from CC. That being said, no operator differences at all. I mean, granted, we really didn't get to see the hold attempt from ISU, so difficult to tell if it would have worked out or not. It looked like they
Right.
were just completely caught off guard. So obviously this time around they're not going to be caught off guard. So we'll just have to wait and see how this defense works out for him. Looks like pretty cash heavy, so about to be expected on this site.
A fascinating previous round we saw, and I mean, this is the kind of round that you love to see if you're a fan of Columbia College. It's the round where the player who has been underperforming slightly, potentially, finally wakes up, gets a multi-kill, and this is when you realize, this is when you know that now everyone on Columbia College is firing on all cylinders. But I mean, one of the big problems in that last round is that ISU loses a player super early off the back of a frag grenade. And that doesn't happen this time around. Instead, the first pick will be a cheeky angle from the basement onto Landis. So CC now in a disadvantageous position, much unlike last round. Can't just rely on overwhelming force, but eventually a frag grenade will be able to pick up a kill onto the same player in the same position. And that should open things up here for the side of CC.
We'll see what Columbia College is able to do. Nubs is missing a little bit of health on that Blackbeard, but of course without something like a smoke, really not in too bad a danger unless any C4s come flying out of nowhere. And speaking of, Nubs is rushing in here against Ben, who throws out the C4. It will get the down, not the kill, but the Vulcan canister will confirm. Ben takes down Nubs. Big kill here for the Warden. There's still one more member. It's going to be Soul, who is inside Logi. If CC want to win this round, they need to win this gunfight. Have to force Ben out of that position inside a secret.
It's such a scary attack here for the side of CC. They need to be able to get in on this, but they don't know exactly where this Warden is. Just chilling on the ground. Does eventually get shut down, though. Roth with another double here. One off the back of a grenade, one off the back of the gun. 2 versus 2 because Soul went down in the midst of all of it, but Crip still has the diffuser. Not currently near the site, though. They are going to be able to get Soul back up, but Roth with another triple here eventually does get shut down by Reply. Shout out to the Immortals Vector skin. RIP, that organization hasn't existed in many years at this point, but you know what still does? Their memory. And ISU keeping it alive by losing games.
Good round again by Columbia College, right when it looked like ISU was kind of, maybe not running away with it, but they looked like they had the advantage. They were on top. They were doing everything they needed to in that round. And then Roth just turns up again. Killless in the defensive half, but on offense, really coming into their own. A great 6 kills through, what is it, 2 rounds of attack?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I guess 3 now. Never mind. I was lied to by my own math skills. Yeah, wow. 6 kills through 3 rounds, so still pretty good. It's both the Navy SEAL Ops. Gonna hit the deck after this one. Blackbeard and Valkyrie both taken off the board. I like the Blackbeard ban a lot. I don't think they've had an insane amount of trouble dealing with it, but when a team leans on shield this heavily, might as well just ban it away. I honestly would have banned the Sledge, though. Roth is looking demonic on that.
I'm not sure I would have banned out the Sledge here, despite the fact that Roth has very clearly woken up, started to hit shots here, but I think the Blackbeard is a good call. It definitely seems to be one of those operators that ISU leans on pretty heavily here. I don't think it... I definitely don't think it's a bad ban, especially going into the basement here, but, I mean, why would they even be playing Sledge when the basement is on the board, right? If you want a soft breach attack in the basement, just bring along a ram. Those boogies will be able to open up a whole lot more ground, a whole lot more consistently than the Sledgehammer does. In the meantime, though, Roth is going to be going to that IQ, which... I mean, I've seen more IQ on this map, I think, than I have in the last, like, month of casting Siege. What is happening right now?
Yeah, the IQ is a choice. I don't know. I mean, honestly, the problem I have with a lot of people picking IQ, right, You're not countering anything on this team. You can see
Nope.
mute jammers. You can see them if you put a drone on the ground too. You don't
Yeah,
need an IQ for it. I guess maybe if they still had the Valkyrie on the board, or a lot of teams are running Solus. It is a really good Solus counter. When people use it, it doesn't seem like they do. So the bit confusing me, but good guns, frag grenades, so we can still see Rothball out with this one. See if
that's
that's the
true.
case, of course. Like you said, with that Ram, they don't need the sledge. So onto a different
Oh,
pick and gets a kill through the wall. So who knows? Maybe IQ is the answer, but IQ will be cut down. Bin with a quick refrag, and Roth's reign of terror comes to an end here on round 10.
cut down, and for the first time in a couple rounds, Roth does not pick up a triple. Only going to be walking away with the one in this attacking round, but the rest of his team potentially still able to capitalize on a situation such as this, as it is currently match point for Columbia College. And I mean, with players like Crip on 11 kills and Nubs on 9, they are not starving for offensive pressure. And ISU, their backs are kind of against a wall right now. They need to be able to take an engagement or two here and win them pretty decisively. Unfortunately, Tater Tot loses out to Soul. Nubs finding another on to Bin, and that might just be the map. The diffuser has gone down. ISU has one player on very low HP, will be cut down to 0, and now it's just the mute. Shotgun and SMG in hand, but it's going to be a very difficult match. Very little health, very little time to work with. Both members of CC know where you are, so unless you hit some of the best shots of your life right now, Reply, it might just be over for this map. We might be headed to border way quicker than some of us might have thought, and Crip will close it out. It's going to be a map win for the side of Columbia College.
Columbia College walk onto ISU's map, and they're able to take away the win. It was a really good game from Columbia College, but I think exactly what we wanted to see, right? It was still competitive. I don't think it was as dominantly one-sided as a 7-3, though arguably Columbia College was the dominant team throughout almost the entirety of that map. ISU putting up 3 and 4 rounds, but outside of that, 3 straight on either side to kind of open the map, close the map, so not a whole ton of resistance there in the important stages. Now we're going on to Columbia College's pick, Border, which, of course, if anyone remembers at the start of the day, the information screen, only a 13% round win for ISU on that map. So unless we see some miraculous plays, big turnarounds from their 7-1 defeat, this could be a very, very quick series on our hands. Of course, for ISU's sake and for your sake too, right? You wanted to see the map 3. Hope they can get it turned around, but stats are not making that seem very likely.
Yeah, and I mean, the numbers are always going to be something interesting to look at, but it's not always going to dictate the pace of the game or the result of the game. So definitely still in it is ISU, I would argue. And I mean, as per their own quote, ISU rules, CC rules. We'll see if that ends up actually being the case. When we come back, I believe we're going to a quick break. But again, don't go anywhere. Map 2 coming right up. We back. It's time for map 2. Yay! CC ISU. Map 1 was a 7-3 scoreline, but if I'm being entirely honest, it felt closer than 7-3. There were a couple rounds in there where ISU definitely felt like they were more than capable of taking the round, but a very swift comeback in the moment from CC ended up taking it away from them. So I expect that this next map is going to be equally interesting. We are going to be headed to Border here, and I'm very curious to know what you think about this next one, Fisher.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard just coming into this imagining many worlds where ISU come out of this one alive, but as we always say, it's always possible, right? They could take stuff away, but given their history on the map so far this season, and the fact that this is Columbia College's map pick, right? They already kind of tore ISU up on theirs, so you gotta imagine gonna have more advantage, gonna be better practice going to this one. More than that, we haven't seen them play on this map this season, according to the stats, right? 0 rounds played, so there is gonna be no game tape on their strats or tendencies, anything like that, anything that ISU would have to go over does not exist for match number 2. So I think Columbia College is just kind of by that default have to be the favorites going into this map.
For sure. I don't want to count out ISU. They could still very well take it away, but see what ends up happening. I am very curious for sure. So, I mean, end of the day, I think we're still waiting for the players to get into the lobby. I think there might have been a rehost at the end of the day, but I'm not 100% sure. In other news, I realized that I was looking at the wrong gameplay feed for the entirety of the previous game. So maybe this time I'll actually be in sync and looking at the same thing at the same time as my good friend Kingfisher here.
I mean, if nothing else, just kind of gives you like plausible deniability. If you ever messed anything up, like, oh, it's that one. But
It
yeah,
was
should
that.
be
It
should
was
be good. Should be back. Should be in sync for game number 2. Right, got that sorted out of the way. And hey, didn't cause too many mix-ups in game 1. So I'm
nope.
sure just when you thought this casting couldn't get any better, just wait until game 2.
Mm.
We'll see what kind of effects it has.
Very true, very true. It does seem like we are getting closer to getting into the game itself, but still waiting a little bit longer here. I'm very interested to see what ends up getting banned out first here, though. I mean, it's border, so I fully expect to see some of these, more like standard traditional bans here. I fully expect to see Kaid off the board because Kaid has just kind of been one of the best operators in the game recently. We do eventually get into the match itself, so players are also just as excited. Roth is letting us know that he's ready, as is Landis. Ban
Yeah,
time.
gotta say, I'm expecting to see, or I hope to see at least, the mirror ban. That's kind of like the only ban
Mm,
I think should happen in every border match. Oh my gosh, am
yep.
I a genius or am I a genius?
Yeah, I mean, it might just be border, but maybe we can just say you're a genius
Oh,
anyway.
yay! Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Hassle. Okay, so no electricity ban whatsoever this time. No bandit, no Kaid. So that is going to be available for the defenders when they go downstairs. And now, I mean, they don't opt to take anything of the wall denial variety in their first upstairs defense. No mute, no bandit, no nothing. We're just putting a class there and hoping for the best.
Yeah, see what happens. I mean, to be fair, right? Border isn't one of those maps where you need the hard breach to stay closed. I mean, there's so many different ways you can defend every site on this map that realistically stuff's gonna get open, and it really doesn't matter depending on how you play the site. I mean, like on the first floor, right? Some teams love to completely board up that bathroom wall. Some open it completely, play from the office. There are even teams on this top floor that defend the site from security. They just get a big crossfire going. Looks like that could be what ISU's sitting up for. You see Ben over there tearing out the bottom of the floor. They have an opening on that main wall as well. So it looks like there is going to be a security presence. And just one of the things to love about this map, right? Every single time you see border, you are going to see it played differently. It's never a cookie cutter strat with these teams.
Never once. I mean, the bans here can vary so wildly. Obviously, you were saying that Mira is one of those operators that should be banned on every single border game just because of how oppressive the black mirrors are here. But other than that, I mean, like I was saying earlier, Kaid is one of the most popular bans in the game right now, and he's still on the board, and at least he will be until round number 4 rolls around. So completely different approach to operator bans coming out from CC this time around, and we'll see if that ends up mattering that much. But C264 on this Jaeger will be the first victim of the CC attack here.
They're already coming into contact with this
Ooh.
clash. That was interesting. Ben just kind of turns around, gets soul
Okay.
wrecking, gets another as Nubs falls, and CC rushing in a little bit, playing their lives recklessly, and now Clash is going to be able to get back to site. Roth, Crip, and Landis are all on this side of the bomb site. There's no whole ton of contention just yet, but Clash is going to change that, and Crip needs to be really careful how they play around this operator.
Need to be extremely cautious, but Roth eventually will pick up that first kill of the map. Event does get shut down though, and now it's just this blitz in a 1 versus 3. And I mean, I feel like I've said this recently, but I've seen some crazy 1v3s before. Not many done by an operator that can only carry a pistol though, and Reckon will take them out of the equation, and that is a defensive round win for the side of ISU.
And that's the start you want if you are an Iowa State fan. We were a little worried coming into it about just how they'd perform, but as you said, right, game number 1, closer than the scoreline. It was not a 7-3 stomp, it was a competitive set. And ISU going to continue that competition, at least for one round of map number 2. Now we're going to go back to Bathroom Tellers. And as we discussed last round, right, a lot of different ways to play the site, a lot of different ways to play this map. The Frost in hand, I know, always kind of mixed opinions on Frost, I feel like, as far as defenders go. Some people think Frost is kind of undervalued, can almost be kind of like a just dumb, effective operator, as I like to call it, right? You set and forget the traps and just hope the other team doesn't drone out and walks over him. But for this particular site, having that gun that's good at long distance, having the deployable shield, allows watching that open area to be so much easier from that bathroom hallway that I really like the pick.
I like that pick, but Bandit? I'm not sure about this one personally. I mean, if you're playing on this site, then one of the most important spots to be able to hold on to is that hatch that leads directly into the bathroom. And I mean, you can't do anything about that when you have a bandit, and Kaid has not been banned, so I struggle to see the point of this one here. But I mean, Reply just wants to shut me up anyway. Roth is going to be the first victim here in this round, and he gets away perfectly effectively just by putting a battery on that wall. Nothing they can do to chase or follow up on that initial pick. So good little micro play there coming out from Reply, but I don't know, it still feels like an odd choice.
Definitely a little bit. We'll see what Nubs is able to do. No grenade in hand, but does have the flashbangs.
Oh my
and
god.
They're going to pick up 2. Landis and Soul each go for 1. Just like that, the top floor is down. Crip gets a kill onto Tater Tot. Now C2 inside of the site is going to be a very important member, as is Bin, who's out the side of the site, but still close enough to impact it.
And wow, the hatch is open. I wonder what operator could have prevented this from happening. No, but seriously, it's been a very unfortunate round for the side of ISU, because I mean, losing out on your entire top floor defense is definitely suboptimal, to understate things for sure. But I mean, now you're playing it on an effective 1 versus 3. There's definitely no way you were going to be able to get Bin back up, and the Grim is going to lock down your location. They know where you are, they know where your head is, and a bullet will find it. And eventually, that's going to mean we're at a 1-1 round count.
Yeah, and that round kind of feels like round number 7 back on Clubhouse, right? ISU just
Mm.
kind of weren't prepared for the push, weren't ready for the kind of more rush typical style the CC elected to go with in that attack. So they're going to retry the bomb site, kind of just like they did after round number 7 Clubhouse. Going to bring,
What
looks
are we
like
doing?
largely the same operator lineup. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, it worked out last time. We'll see if it does this time around or not. But CC, if they can just attack the same way, and if they can clear that top floor as easily as they did this time, could have a lot of success. And much to your chagrin, there is no Kaid from ISU. They are going to leave that hatch just the way it is.
There's no Kaid. Is Azami fixed yet? I know last time you and I casted, Azami was bugged and they weren't playing her in the
That was
Battle for
Aruni.
PA
That
land
was
tournament.
Aruni, not
Aruni.
Azami. Yeah.
Aruni, excuse me.
Different
I
one,
always
different
mix up I always like, mess up the names of the operators. But is Aruni like GA'd right now? Is she fixed or because I
one. You
would rather
know,
see an Aruni than I would a bandit here. Like
um, I don't know off the top of my head. I would need to check into it. But that being said, I found some teams just kind of don't like Aruni. I agree. I don't think the Bandit is a necessary pick on the site at all. I think they'd be much better served with, I mean, maybe an Aruni, maybe a Kaid, really anything else, because it just doesn't look like CC is going through the walls that they have electrified. It didn't last round. They're not doing it this round, and it looks like they're actually going through the first floor a little bit, as Blitz going to run into this problem here on the main stairs. Frag grenade out for Roth. Doesn't find a kill just yet, but nearly leans onto Reckon. Has to be careful. Don't get the kill anyway. Roth going for a second for Nubs. Takes him down first, and CC collapsing again. Bin with the refrag, and will escape with his life.
barely gets out though. Does take a little bit of damage on the retreat, but does escape nonetheless. It is as you say here. So CC now with mostly full control of open area, I believe, with the Dokkaebi standing on the stairs there. Landis very nearly going down to a couple of very nice SMG shots, but still in it. Maybe not for much longer. Oh my goodness, reply! Does eventually get traded out, but finding Crypt there is potentially the massive pick that they needed to be able to hold on to this round defensively, especially with Bin playing upstairs, finding Roth, and now it's down to a 2 versus 2, and Landis is on much, much lower HP than anybody else currently in the game.
Yeah, there are. It's going to be a difficult round win for CC, but it's still possible. The top floor control helps them a lot. Seeing the pings run through, and yeah, that wall is soft, so just missed. Looked like right over the head of C2 here from Soul. With the hatch open, can apply a lot of pressure. Bin is all the way in server room, so is far away from the site, still has some sight lines on it. Question is, how many drones do they have left? They have a couple, but it looks like pre-placed. And again, with the red pings coming out, they can't get the wall bang, but they do get Bin Soul with the kill, and now they essentially have C2 boxed in here. Landis goes down in the bathroom, though. We're in a one-on-one. They're gonna swing, and it's gonna be C2 for the kill. ISU win the round.
They finally convert in this bathroom bomb site after what feels like an eternity. That first round was I both of those rounds, they felt like they took way longer than they actually did. And I think a lot of that came down to the fact that, I mean, the second floor clear was so crucial and so time consuming for CC. And eventually it just took way too long, and C2 able to close that one out. For the record, I still think that would have been an easier round to win defensively if they had the Kaid, but I mean, you'll take those if you're the side of ISU.
Yeah, good win from ISU, and now going to be able to go back to the top floor as well, so theoretically could be looking at another one here if they're able to string it together like they did in round number 1 of this game. Yeah, CC going to have to come up with a better attack. Lost a couple members early last time, not just able to push into the site, and the Clash remains unbanned. They're going to take out the Azami instead. Azami's a fine operator. I mean, I like Azami. I don't know exactly how much utility he was getting out of ISU, But specifically for attacking this top floor, I'm a little surprised they don't take out the Clash. It was, I think, the problem, if we remember back to round number 1. They couldn't find a way to get past Tater Tot, was disrupting the Blitz, disrupting the IQ heavily deep into that round.
Definitely a problem operator for CC's attack, but I mean, if they don't deem it enough of a problem, then I mean, getting rid of Azami, never a bad idea. That character is very strong, being able to carve up literally anywhere on the map in terms of sightlines, and so far, I mean, the last round's MVP in C2 out of the equation instantly. Roth already starting off significantly better here on border than he did on our previous map of Clubhouse, but remains to be seen if the momentum can be kept up for this player. Would love to see a couple more frags come out from him. Give me those highlights that was promised to me in the pre-match quote. Landis is going to be the one to find the next pick here, and that's a dismantling of ISU's defense in the last couple seconds of that round. Everyone goes down. A flawless attacking round for CC to even the round count.
Another good attack here from Columbia College, and luckily for ISU, this isn't unheard of on Border, right? Border is extremely fair to attackers. We normally see pretty even round count, so it's nothing to get concerned about just yet. That being said, still want to throw in some defensive rounds, right? It's still easier, even if it's only slightly. So we'll see what happens this time on the top floor. They're going to take a couple different operators, Malusi and Smoke. We're going to join the lineup. I'm surprised with as much Clash plays we're seeing that we don't see a pick like the Zofia, right? Probably the best character to deal with a Clash. The second they place down that shield, you can just destroy it. I guess they have the Jaeger, so they could be playing around that. Maybe that's what's countering. But yeah, I'm surprised whenever we see Clashes. It's not like teams really bring a whole lot to deal with it, right? They just kind of rely on gun skill, which at this level, the gun skill is incredible. But gotta think they could give themselves a little bit of an easier time with a pick like that.
Well, one of the solutions that we saw attempted in the previous map was bringing the Buck around, right? But not something we're seeing this time around. The Buck will not be present, will not be available for the side of CC in this particular round. So going to be a little bit tougher to dislodge that shield. Definitely not impossible when you have an operator like Deimos on the team. I mean, that's just gross. That's just gross. Like, knowing that there is a player there and winning that duel from the low ground when all you can see is the head, that's just disgusting.
Into second, why not, from Roth, able to get it done with the shotgun on to reply, and losing those smokes early definitely hurts. Bin opens one up onto Landis, so a little bit of a reply here from ISU as Bin is able to successfully escape behind a couple walls there. Roth can't quite find the shots. Soul hits a Goomine and a couple bullets as well, and now Nubs looking for the kill onto Tater Tot as to fall back into a 2v3 here for ISU. Reckon and Tater Tot, the last two, and now Crip trying to get behind the bomb chassis and is there and planting. Frag grenade forces him out. Diffuser will go down, but it's only Roth to cover. Reckon takes down Nubs. We're locked into 2v2 post plant, and Crip is still behind the bomb.
Behind the bomb, but I mean, they know the location of both players. All four of them know exactly where the others are. The aggressive swing with the Clash, SMG in hand, is enough to get that started, but
You put the shield down?
wait, does Roth know? Does Roth know? I don't think Roth realizes what's happening right now, and the diffuser is gone. Disabled it gets, and the Clash. What immaculate plays coming out from that operator. Beautiful stuff. And I mean, Tater Tot. I mean, if there's an individual round MVP, it has to be him.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't play the defuse any better, right? And on the flip side for Roth, you have to know that's happening. It's a Clash. You know she's just going to put the shield down and defuse behind it. There is no reason to fight a Deimos in a 1v1, especially when you have a shield that you can just kind of place wherever. He's playing pretty far off the bomb site. Granted, I mean, I think was in that position originally because they still had the gridlock up. I think he would have been positioned very differently if it was a true 1v2 to start that out instead of the 2v2 with Crip going down there. But yeah, that being said, ISU with a really, really nice round win. Gotta think, though, CC could have been on top of it. That very easily could have gone the other way. But now, if ISU takes this next round, they're going to be in a great spot for this half of border.
They're
We're
doing
still
it
seeing the
again.
Bandit. They are doing it again. Yeah,
They're
it's.
doing it again, man.
I don't know if it's what I would do.
There's no way this works on the third time, man. Like I keep trying to find politer ways to say this, but I can't think of anything because I just think this is stupid. Like what? What are we doing? Just play kite. Protect the hatch. That's like been a weakness of this whole defensive setup this entire time, and I'm not convinced of this of the validity of this play here, but maybe Reply can prove me wrong again. It somehow worked in the previous round. But, I mean, losing out on Reckon early in the round, definitely not what you want to see. The DMR has some extremely impressive range capabilities on sites like this. A whole lot of sight lines for that character in particular to use here, and I mean, it's definitely going to be an easier attack now that Goyo's off the board, but you still do have to deal with those canisters as well, so...
Just over a minute gone in this round. Like you said, still got to deal with the canisters, even though the Goyo themselves is off the table. Still no Kaid, so the hatch is going to be opened. They still can rely on the late round heroics we saw out of C2 the last time they attempted this site, all the way back in, I believe it was round number 3 is when they got the win on the site from ISU. Inches away to kill here is Bin, and Roth fires through and gets C2. Bin
That's
cannot find the response.
Shot, man.
The angle isn't
It's
helping,
so
and neither is a
good.
man count. 5v2 as Landis takes down another, and this is going to look like an even split here, barring any miraculous play from the defenders, who are both locked in the server. This is a bad spot to be.
Yeah, they're locked in place, and they've both been hit with the logic bomb. So, I mean, ISU, both of these players should have their positions relatively known by CC, and Columbia's just going to get the diffuser down. No worries, no issues. 5 versus 1 now with Bin going down, and Reply's able to get 1 back, but no more. The Bandit will fall, and I'm gonna stop talking before I say something mean.
Good idea. Going into the second half here. 3-3 split for ISU and CC. So maybe on that half of Iowa State, you know, you're kind of hoping for a better stat line on the defense for sure. But it's not bad, right? This is not uncommon for a map like Border. It's not like some insanely defensive-sided maps that you really expect 4 or 5, heck, even 6 defensive wins on. It's an okay one for it to happen on. They're going to ban out the Clash. I wonder if CC plays at, or if they're just thinking, you know, we did pretty good with this pick. We don't want them to have it. Whatever the case, will not be in play. Ying going to be banned out for the second time as well, so we will not see Ying in all our Border rounds. And very, very, very sad for the viewers, Ying obviously a fan favorite.
Very true. Very true. It does suck to not see the operator in play, but with Ying banned out and the Blitz banned out, there's a whole lot less flashes on the field. Nonetheless, Crip does feel the need to bring along the Warden, so likely going to be playing for a pretty roam-heavy game here. Maybe, potentially, also going to be prepared in case of any other flashbangs that get brought along. Obviously, operators like Hibana can use those as well. Definitely not exclusive to operators whose gadgets blind. So, always a good operator to bring along, especially with that gun in hand. Not an easy gun to handle, but for those who've mastered it, the SMG-12 is quite powerful. But meantime, elsewhere on the map, we're seeing the first Aruni of the day. So it does look like Aruni has been either fixed or people have just agreed to play her today.
Yeah, I think probably fixed. I mean, I don't think just let him play it. If it was still broken, Yeah, I didn't see it. So this whole time we could have been seeing Rooney instead of the Bandit for ISU. But we do see Rooney now on the side of
Why'd you say that? Now I'm
Columbia
angry.
College. That is exactly why I said it. As Mobs
No!
is the first of all, Tater Tot with the first kill of this round for ISU. So good start for Iowa State.
Yeah.
Seeing the Soulless still, Roth couldn't quite find the kills on it last map, but now has warmed up, right? 2 incredible attacking halves for this player, I believe now up to his 16th kill on the set. So we'll try it again with the P90. Not ready, but is the second time around. Tater Tot did not expect it. Now the Soulless, 1 kill away from double digits here on map number 2.
It's a difficult angle to predict and expect, but I mean, Reckon able to find one onto Crypt. Not even sure where that engagement happened, but going back upstairs now to assist with the attack directly on the top side. But oh, another peek out, this time from Landis. Will rotate across through the outside to get back to the site here. It's a 3 versus 3, and eventually with Soul going down, it looks worse and worse for CC. By the second, that SMG-12 ringing and finding Roth, but it's a 1 versus 1. Landis and Reckon. The Ash versus the Aruni. Drone out. And you now know that the Aruni is looking at this exact sight line. Potentially looking for something new here, but backing off, just allowing for the Ash to potentially aggress a little bit more here. Has to burn through the Aruni gate with the use of that Ash charge. But has diffuser in hand now, so needs to find a way to get back onto the site and bait Landis into potentially swinging aggressively and punishing
Doesn't know
it.
where Landis is.
But he has no idea. Could be literally anywhere. Runs behind the chassis, starts the defuse, and surely Landis hears this. They are aware, but I mean, they should both just be aware that the other is super nearby now. Couple shots go through. Goes up top. Not quite gonna place it. That could have been the round there, but eventually Reckon will close things out for ISU. I mean, that was a tense 1v1.
And that's where the mental game becomes so important, right? I think Landis panicked a little bit there until he shot those 2 bullets. I don't think the Ash had any idea where he was checking all around the room, never looked over to the window, and they were moving up. I still don't think they knew where the Rooney was, though, even after they got off the plant. Those first 2 shots did it, and then just the back and forth between the hop up and the main floor, just a little too much to handle for the Rooney. And now they're going to switch up the bomb site. They're not going to reattempt this top floor. They're instead going to go downstairs. Still no Kaid on the board, so I guess maybe just electrocuting that hatch is not play anymore. They are going to take an Ella. Interesting pick from Roth. They're leaning very, very heavily here into the let's just get Roth some kills. See if it works out for him. Certainly seemed to last game. And has been this time. Yeah, some teams do when they play the Mira on this site, obviously. Mira was banned out by CC on their attacking house, so we never got to see it.
You're right.
But yeah, some teams just really like playing inside this office room. And when Mira's on the board, I think it's a great strat. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Really close off archives, close off the hallway. So yeah, definitely possible, good, and it's going to be a very hard defense to break from the side of ISU. And as we know, my favorite attacker in the game is in this round, the Glass.
I was gonna say I'm happy you're such a fan of Monty, but then you actually clarified which operator you were talking about, and my bit died immediately. So thanks Fisher. God,
it could be Monty if you want. I was being very sarcastic about the Glass. I can switch my favorite to Monty if you want me to.
No,
for the bit.
But who is your favorite attacker? Now I'm curious.
Probably Sense. I like Sense a lot.
Okay, good choice. That's a very good choice.
It's a recent one.
I'm a Sledge fan personally. I like me some Sledge. That's an aggressive push in from the side of the Monty. And I mean, that defuse is going down real quick. Won't get punished because the Glass is there to protect it. I love these strats, these super aggressive, get the bomb down and just hard defend it with the Glass outside, with the Monty standing directly on the site. It is not easy to dislodge any of these operators from the positions they currently hold, and the Mira setup will not even end up mattering. It's a 4 versus 1 now, and CC, you're not winning this round. Not happening.
It did not happen. You are a prophet, and as much as it pains me to admit, that was a really nice class play. That was actually pretty good.
That was gorgeous.
Take an attacking round. Yeah, if you are gonna play class, that's a way to do it, right? Get active, use the ability, like seeing it from the side of ISU, who now go up by 2. So just one more attacking round, and that will be enough to at least guarantee them overtime here on map number 2. Was looking unlikely coming in, but now is looking like a distinct possibility that Bank could be on the horizon. But still, rounds to get through. They're going to go back to the top floor, it looks like, here for the defense. They do have a mirror this time around. I don't believe they brought it in round number 7, if memory serves correctly. But, of course,
right.
we'll have it at their disposal. I think no matter what happens this round, though, seeing team play mirror twice, it's going to get banned out next round from
Almost
ISU.
certainly.
So, yeah, better to use it while you have it. There's not really another defender. It's been going crazy for him, so going to have to be the mirror. Roth taking advantage of being able to use that vector one last time.
Suppose you could still use the vector if you were to play Goyo, but not as frequently seen on this map as Mira. Definitely not as fundamentally powerful as Mira on this map. Still a very good operator, no matter where you are playing him, but yeah, I mean, this operator was so crucial to the defensive setup that CC were going for in the previous round. Unfortunately, ISU ignored the second floor entirely and just opted to run in with smoke grenades, a shield, and get the diffuser down. So sometimes your whole setup just gets completely ignored, and then you can't do anything about it. It's unfortunate, but that's just the nature of Rainbow Six sometimes. This round, though, hopefully going to be getting a little bit more value out of the Mira. Looking first to find any initial picks here, but has not found anything thus far.
Yeah, and that's the lucky thing about taking this Ash, right? Reckon can kind of just take out that Black Mirror from the outside. There's no Umai, no Jaeger on the defense here from Columbia College. So the Black Mirrors will be vulnerable. And so will Roth, who's walking up very aggressively and takes a flurry of shots from Bin here on the rappel. Curious decision from the Mirror, but will not be punished for it. No Doc, no Thunderbird, so just going to be left at 1 HP for the remainder of this round. Now we can say it without being sarcastic. My favorite operator, we got a sense.
Yeah! Let's go!
Let's go!
They heard you. Dude, Tater Tot heard you.
Did.
That's awesome. Shoutouts to Tater Tot for being the willing to play the caster's favorite operator. Unfortunately, Nubs is going to be able to take out Tater Tot's teammate. Or fortunately, depending on whether or not you want this game to continue for longer. Landis also goes down, though. So it is a 4 versus 4. UMP damage is eventually enough to take Nubs out as well. Or, excuse me, Nubs gets the kill with the UMP, but gets traded out by Tater Tot. My mistake, but eventually, Sen's walls do go up to protect this rotation from the Sens. Now, less than a minute remaining in a 3 versus 2 situation. ISU, they're feeling pretty solid about going up to potential map point here, but 40 seconds remaining, and anything can still happen. Down goes the Claymore in front of this castle barricade, but Tater Tot goes down. Will eventually be finished off by Crip as well, but Reply also losing out 1 versus 1 now. The Brava versus the Warden, and I mean, you have to have a pretty good idea of where this Warden is, but the Warden just has the better shot. And that's going to be another round for Columbia College. They are bringing this one back within 1 round.
And I love the thought process there from the last member of ISU. You know where the Warden is, there's 20 seconds, leave the bomb behind. I mean, get that rotation early to try and trap Warden in that side of the site. Unfortunately, it took a little bit too long. You saw him look back like at the diffuser a couple times, maybe changing the mind. And of course, as we predicted, Mira off the board. Makes sense. I mean, if they don't have the Mirror that round, I don't know if they win it. Got great sight lines into security from the Warden on the crosshair. Really able to shut down that late round push from ISU. And Monty, it's a deck otherwise we have seen a Monty play it. Granted, it was a little bit of kind of like a troll strat, not really a troll. I mean, it worked very well, but I think we've only seen ISU use it once, so we'll see just how important that Monty was to the push because we are going back to bathroom tellers.
I don't imagine that we'll be seeing a similar strat this time around, considering that there is no glass and there are no smokes, at least not quite yet. Obviously, things can change, what with attackers being able to swap operators, but I mean, this setup for CC, obviously with the Mira off the board, you can't put the black mirrors up there, but keeping the hatch open for those defenders who are currently on the second floor, namely currently the Mute, the Solus, and the Valkyrie. So just keeping that rotation option viable. Otherwise, they would have to go somewhere like the open area, which can be extremely dangerous because attackers typically like to take control of that spot for very early into a round. But eventually, a couple players will still be downstairs to hold the line here. There will not be a smoke rush this time around, as the only shield to protect that strategy would be something like the Blackbeard or potentially a fuse if you want to be very silly.
Yeah, the fuse ballistic shield is a choice for sure. It's an interesting one. Luckily, this are not one we're gonna see. Of course, like you said, do still have that Blackbeard available and have a pixel as well. Landiso can't find a headshot onto Tater Tot, but will pepper a couple bullets their way. But with the MPX, unless you're hitting that head, you will not win this gunfight against the AK. So Tater Tot is going to try a different angle. There is a player here inside of security. It's going to be Nubs on the Solus, so she'll get exact trackers. But no, looks at Roth instead. Roth could bait them in here. Yeah, and they do. Look at that. Nubs goes undroned, unnoticed, and
what a bait.
unreplied. They're both outside the door, and they can't find the kill. Now getting the main wall open for him as well. Nubs continues to be a thorn in the side.
I mean, that's just a very, very nice first pick coming out from Nubs. A slight miscalculation from the side of ISU, just not noting the location of that Solus, but reply,
Wow.
responding with 2 kills on this striker. Definitely going to need more than that, but I mean, what a flashy way to start that attack, to start the attack properly for ISU. In a 1 versus 5 scenario. Cut it down to a 1 versus 3, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, 1 minute left to play here, and looks like maybe getting spotted from somewhere. There is Valkyrie up on the board. Of course, Landis with those black eyes will do enough. A C4 from underneath will close this round out. And before I give CC all their flowers for that defense, what a freaking flick by Reply.
No, that was
onto
absurd.
The Solus of Nubs. That was insane. Great entry. If only that had happened, like 3 kills prior could have saved the entire round and a lot of lives because CC played this so perfectly. That is one of the best crosses in the game. Funnel them all through a doorway, and Nubs and don't know why I'm blanking on the name. Sorry, Nubs, and I believe it was Roth there on the mic. Just go absolutely crazy. Very, very nicely played by them. And now for the first time this game, we're going to see server construction. Yeah, this used to be one of the most popular bomb sites. Maybe it's not fallen off in recent memory, but it's definitely become the tertiary site. And yeah, that's interesting. Round 11, and we've only seen 2 bomb sites up until now.
Border, baby. That's how it goes. just how the game plays out sometimes. And I mean, this time around, we're seeing a Bandit once again as the only source of wall denial. I actually like the Bandit a little bit more on this site than I do on Bathroom Tellers. I feel as if the hatches aren't as important. They're obviously still important, but they're not as important to keep closed. Meanwhile, those batteries can just go on walls that are outside facing from the top side of the map. The one that leads directly into bunks is the one that comes to mind immediately. Just keeping that one closed for as long as possible makes it very difficult to attack this site vertically. Very interested to see how ISU approaches this site in particular. Blackbeard is in hand, much like I thought we might see earlier in case of a rush strat, but it doesn't look like there's going to be one of those happening in this round.
Doesn't look likely as now we see an angle here from ISU. It's going to be Ben. Knows there's a couple defenders lurking down this hallway. There's a drone intel as well. And if they step out, they are just going to die against this DMR. So, of course, now CC has to be extremely careful with how they play these next few seconds. The site is downstairs, obviously, but as everyone that's played Border knows, you have to take the top floor in order to win this bomb site. Just what happens. Reckon prepping a frag grenade that shouldn't find a kill. Believe the player is far enough back, but it will cover the entrance. Doesn't force them out, and they get the shots. Look at that from Soul. The angle from the frag was just not on. And now Nubs is trying this spot again. Reply taking damage.
But a 1-for-1 trade is eventually how that will end. A couple players on the side of ISU taking significant chunks of damage, though not feeling particularly healthy right now. 120 remaining in the round, and it is... I mean, it's close, but it's so scary if you're ISU. Gotta be able to find space here, and without that Blackbeard, it becomes a lot more difficult. What a phenomenal early pick coming out from Columbia College. I mean, you've still got so... This has been such an explosive game. Most players in this lobby have more than 5 kills, and we're pretty deep at this point.
45 seconds to go here from the attack, and they're going to start getting towards this first floor. See if they can do anything. There's still 40 seconds, 8 people left alive. This is going to be a very hectic last couple seconds on this bomb site.
30 seconds. Ticking away very slowly now, but eventually Soul will be the first to fall. The defense maybe crumbling just a little bit here, but what a nice C4 kill to get Ben out of this round. No more Dokkaebi. Wall does get opened. It's going to be difficult to find a way into this one consistently. Smoke grenades go down. Crossfire nearly drops the kill, but it's a 2 versus 1 now. But oh my god! The down comes through, and the SMG kill finishes things off. And that's a defensive round win for CC.
1 round away from seeing this end. Will we see Bank? The most ISU can hope for now is overtime here on game number 2. But with the way Columbia College is looking 3 straight rounds on the defense, they are going back to the top site, which is one of the most defender favored on this map. Still seeing ISU take it away a couple times though, so it's not out of the question that we go to overtime here. Unless CC takes it, round number 12, they're taking the castle once again, of course, to block off this hallway. Saw ISU kind of play around it last time. But question is, without the Mira, does CC have what it takes to get this site? Because I think the first time we saw it back in round number 9, if they didn't have the Mira, I don't think they'd take that round win.
Definitely a pivotal operator when you are defending on this site, on this map in particular, but I think that this is a very interesting round and a very interesting approach for Columbia. I mean, they're running that the Aruni once again. Roth sticking to the tried and true Solus. 14 kills on the map. Fragging out today for sure, but I mean, the most unconventional operator pick we're seeing right now. Reckon on this, what is the name of this operator? It's been a minute. I can't remember.
The Amaru?
Goodness me. But yeah, going to be on this. It's a decision for sure, and it indicates that they want to play very aggressively here. But
he wants to go through a hatch.
So
that's dirty.
Gets the pick. Roth out of the picture immediately. That could be exactly the pick that they need early in this round.
C4 goes too far from Castle.
Ooh.
Still working now. It's just a matter of time, right? With this Amaru. Has a shotgun, but look at where Crip is playing. This is so smart. Because Reckon got that kill, they know the Amaru is trying to come through the hatch, and if Amaru comes up, she is dead. But Crip can't find the bullets and recoils too much. Will finally shut it down, but the return from Tater Tot, who still has a diffuser, will begin to look to plant.
Oh my god.
Look at that from Nubs, shutting one down. Tater Tot is the last one up. Can CC end this?
1 versus 1. CC very capable of ending the match right here, and they will do it. A much closer affair than I think people might have expected here on Border, but at the end of the day, Columbia College will walk away the victors 2-0. I mean, gorgeous gameplay all around. 7-5 on this map, 7-3 on Clubhouse. ISU played well, but it just was not enough to topple Columbia today.
Yeah, we might not get to see the 3-game set we wanted in the beginning, but no question it was still extremely competitive, very back and forth, and the kind of game you love to see, right? Every single player in the lobby getting kills, nobody having a bad performance. That's what the best kind of Siege games are like. Yeah, CC take it 2-0, but if I'm Iowa State University, I'm not mad at all about that performance. You show up on the first map Clubhouse, and you do much, much better on Border than I think anyone would have given them credit for, us included. Really had a strong performance, just kind of let it slip in the end there. And even so, most of those last 4 rounds, it all went to CC. We're still competitive, still down to the wire, and still an incredible game of R6 to get to watch.
It's definitely a fun one, but we're not quite done yet. We are going to be having a brief interview after a short little break here, so don't go anywhere. Once we're back, we got a player from CC coming on.
Welcome back, everybody. We did see it to be a short break, and we're here with Roth, one of the winning players from Columbia College. So first off, congrats! Incredible game by you guys. Was a ton of fun to watch, a ton of fun to cast, and getting right into it. Right, we were talking about you a lot on the broadcast. You were on the team's quote. Obviously, one of the star players. Started out a little rough on Clubhouse, but were able to turn it around, put up a ton of kills in the set. What was the switching point there? I mean, what happens from starting 0-6 to tearing up the lobby?
I just got to stay confident. I know that the boys got me. We got a 4-2 half. We're normally way stronger on attack than defense anyway. I was able to enable myself and really just get in the building and get going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There were a lot of different operator picks that we saw come out from you today, but this is a very basic question. Nothing like super analytical or anything like that. But I just kind of want to know who your particular favorite comfort operators are in this game and why.
IQ probably. She's just fast, has a good gun. Really just run around and shoot people. It's, my thing.
IQ is a fun one. I do appreciate that one a lot. And now for a maybe slightly more in-depth question here, but didn't see any Kaid on either side on border, despite the character not getting banned and being a rather relevant pick in today's Siege, I would say. So did you guys have any particular reasoning as to leaning away from that operator or leaning into the bandit that we saw a little bit here and there?
I mean, not really. I just told the boys just play whatever you want and have fun. And so we just kind of ran around on border.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
7-5 victory just by running around. We'll take those every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was really good on border. And speaking of, I'd love to dig into it more, right? That was an incredibly competitive map, 7-5. And we looked at the stats coming in. We were in a bit of wonder here on the desk. I mean, obviously, ISU lost their first border matchup, 1-7. Y'all hadn't played it before. Was that something you went to just because of their troubles on the map, or has it been something you've wanted to play for the past couple of weeks, just got an opportunity now? Kind of what's the thought process going into that one?
Border's normally just a strong map for us. We just kind of, we like to run around, and that map is easy to run around on. You get away with a lot. And that's really all it is. We didn't really know anything about them coming into it, so we were just playing maps we wanted to play.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, vibes, comfortability all play a pretty big part. So, of course, before we get you out of here, any last thoughts, any last shout outs you want to give, Roth?
No, shout out Landis. He gave everyone bronchitis, and
Nice.
Yeah. That's
Love
it.
that. Love that. Well, hopefully you're all feeling better soon. Hopefully that one gets recovered quickly. But thank you for taking the time with us. Getster, any final thoughts from you before we get out of here?
If this was a team that was playing with bronchitis, then I am very excited to see how you guys do in the remainder of your regular season matches when you're actually healthy. So big shout outs to you once again. Thank you guys for putting on a show for us today. It was phenomenally well played, and a good luck. Like I said, good luck in your remaining regular season matches.
Thank you.
Of course,
yeah, of course. Congratulations once on the win, and thank you to all the viewers watching at home. This has been week number 6 of Midwest R6. We're going to hop away for now and leave you with some match highlights from Columbia College's 2-0 victory, and we'll see you next week.
Let's go. Yeah, of course.
That was a sick one, dude. That was a ton of fun.
It was dope. It was dope. And I'm so dead ass. I need to see you play healthy, because if that was you sick, I need to see you drop like